Hi, welcome back guys. This is your Sensei, back with another fanfiction. This is the first part of What If Naruto Inherited Kaguya's Legacy? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Irika Yumino introduced Team 13 by naming its members as Naruto Otsutsuki, Mio Otsutsuki, and Ayumi Otsutsuki, with Era Otsutsuki as their team leader. Later on the roof, Era called the three forward and asked each to state their name. Naruto introduced himself as Naruto Otsutsuki, who enjoyed ramen, training, and dreamed of becoming the 7th Hokage. Mio introduced herself as Mio Otsutsuki, who enjoyed cooking, baking, gardening, and training, and aspired to become an exceptional kunoichi and a great medical nin. Ayumi introduced herself as Ayumi Otsutsuki, who enjoyed cooking and training, and aimed to become an ANBU captain and lead her own squad. Era told them they would go to the training grounds to begin testing their mastery of elemental jutsu. At the training grounds, Era assembled the team and began the jutsu assessment. Era moved into a vantage point in the trees as the students demonstrated their techniques. Naruto performed a fire-style technique called Burning Ash, then performed wind-style tornado jutsu and later a phoenix flower fire style. Ayumi formed an ice-style ice barrier, then invoked a water-style great water dragon and later produced an exploding water shockwave and a wind-style technique. Mio created an earth-style mud wall, unleashed an ice-style blizzard, used a lightning style called lightning needles, and demonstrated with style with dragon jutsu. Era praised their performance and awarded each of them an A grade. She told them they would begin a new mission the next day and hinted it might be dangerous given their strong elemental skills. That night at the Otsutsuki compound, Naruto, Era, Mio, and Ayumi slept while aware that Era, Mio, and Ayumi were descendants of Kaguya Otsutsuki, the founder of chakra. In their dream world, Naruto asked if they were dreaming and Era confirmed that they were. Kaguya appeared and greeted her three descendants. Era recognized her as their ancestor. Mio expressed that it was an honor to meet her. Kaguya said she had not come alone, and Himura and Hagoromo appeared as well. The three ancestors asked not to be called Grandpappy. They warned the four that a notorious criminal group called the Akatsuki planned to collect all the tailed beasts as part of a scheme named Project Tsukuyomi and that they might try to revive the Ten-Tails. Kaguya said this threat would become critical in about 5 years, coinciding with the eruption of the Fourth Great Ninja War. Hagoromo advised the four to train harder to prepare for the coming dangers, and Himura declared that the four were the clan's hope. They then returned to the waking world. They awoke determined and prepared for what lay ahead. The next morning in the Hokage's office, Naruto addressed the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi. Hiruzen explained that he would assign an important mission and that Kuratsuchi Kamizuri of the Hidden Stone and Yujito Ni of the Hidden Cloud would accompany them. Naruto asked why the kunoichi from the Hidden Stone and Hidden Cloud were present. Kuratsuchi explained that her grandfather and the third Hokage had arranged a treaty to form the Allied Ninja Task Force. Hiruzen added that they had executed Danzo after discovering his involvement in conflicts, and that the Allied Ninja Task Force now included the leaf, stone, cloud, mist, waterfall, rain, grass, and snow, although the Hidden Sand Village had not yet signed on. Hiruzen assigned Team 13 to head to the Land of Bricks, where a surge of hidden sound activity was raiding the town. Mio observed that the hidden sound was a new village, and Kuratsuchi warned that the hidden sound posed a serious threat. Era accepted the mission and the team prepared to depart. Yujito briefly stared at Naruto but said nothing, urging everyone to focus on the mission. Naruto noted it would be an A-rank task and resolved to do their best. When the team arrived in the Land of Bricks, they spotted a group of hidden sound ninjas. Mio identified them as Orochimaru's followers, and Yujito voiced her dislike for the old Sannin. Kuratsuchi agreed that stopping the attackers was their priority. The battle began. Naruto used fire-style techniques and wind-style attacks. Era unleashed water-style shockwaves. Mio deployed ice and lightning techniques along with wood-style, and Ayumi used wind and water techniques. Yujito and Kuratsuchi moved into close-range combat, employing kunais and shurikens and defeating several hidden sound shinobi in dynamic, anime-style exchanges. Naruto and the three Otsutsuki clan members combined their powers to overcome the remaining opponents, ultimately defeating the last 5 hidden sound shinobi through coordinated teamwork and skillful jutsu. With the area secured, Naruto reported that the scene was clear. Era informed Hiruzen that they had cleared out the hidden sound operatives but that the attackers had been subordinates of Orochimaru. Back in the Hokage's office, Era explained that their investigation had revealed Orochimaru as the leader of the hidden sound village. Hiruzen confirmed his suspicions and said they needed stronger security measures. He also mentioned that the disappearance of the hidden sand village might be related. Kuratsuchi and Yujito volunteered to investigate whether the sand's disappearance had connections to Orochimaru or whether the sand had betrayed the leaf to join forces with the hidden sound. Yujito agreed with the plan. Naruto expressed that the situation was exactly what he feared. Hiruzen reassured them that the allied ninja task force would continue monitoring Orochimaru's activities and pursue the lead. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, asked Naruto, Era, Mio, and Ayumi about their clan inheritance. Naruto explained that the 4 of them traced their lineage to Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the sage of the 6 paths. Hiruzen reflected that Hagoromo was the founder of the shinobi world and asked if they had continued his legacy here. Era confirmed they had and expressed concern that the Akatsuki were targeting Naruto's 9 tails. Yujito added that if the Akatsuki went after Naruto, they would likely seek her 2 tails as well. Matatabi greeted Kurama, and Kurama returned the greeting. Matatabi warned that the Akatsuki were the greatest threat to the tailed beasts and their Jinchuriki. Kurama agreed, explaining that the Akatsuki planned to capture each of them to resurrect the 10 tails and enact Project Tsukuyami. Matatabi urged everyone to take the warning seriously. Kurama said that Yujito and Naruto were now aware of the threat and needed to train harder to defend themselves, since the timing of any attack remained unknown. Kuratsuchi noted that the Akatsuki were also targeting Rashi and Han, the Stone Village Jinchuriki, and said she would warn them. Hiruzen reassured them that the allied ninja task force was monitoring the Akatsuki's movements. He added that Orochimaru had once been a member of the Akatsuki but had left to pursue his own experiments rather than the capture of tailed beasts. Back at the Otsutsuki compound, Naruto, Era, Mio, and Ayumi gathered for a clan meeting. Era opened the discussion about their inheritance and whether they had used their Byakugan on a recent mission in the Land of Bricks. Naruto admitted they had not. Mio pointed out that the Hyuga were well-known Byakugan users and that the siblings needed to train harder to improve their abilities. Era reminded them that Hagoromo and Kaguya had expected them to carry on the clan's legacy as silent protectors of the shinobi world. Ayumi supported Era's point. Naruto reassured them that things were under control. Ayumi added that she still wanted to find out who was responsible for letting the 9 tails rampage 11 years ago. Several days later, during the Chunin exams in the Hidden Leaf Village, the Allied Ninja Task Force had put strict security procedures in place. As Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi moved toward the next block, they heard a commotion. Mio recognized the voice as Kanomaru's, and the 3 hurried toward the disturbance. In a side street, 2 Sand Village ninjas, Kankuro and Temari, were confronting Konohamaru. Kankuro had grabbed Konohamaru and was shouting at him angrily. Temari was trying to get Kankuro to stop. Naruto and his siblings intervened and told Kankuro to put Konohamaru down. Kankuro refused and taunted them as weaklings. Mio and Ayumi bristled and reminded him that they were well-trained genin who had already completed several ranked missions. Naruto warned that if Kankuro harmed Hiruzen's grandson, the Allied Ninja Task Force would arrest him for harassing a civilian or a member of a ninja family. Temari supported the warning and said they would be reported. Gaara arrived and backed Temari's warning with a firm admonition. He told Kankuro that harming the boy would bring disgrace on their village and ordered him to release Konohamaru. Reluctantly, Kankuro let Konohamaru go, and Gaara apologized to Naruto and the others for his team's behavior. Nearby, Kurama and Shikaku exchanged greetings. Shikaku mentioned that he had advised his Jinchuriki to eat better and warned about Orochimaru, accusing him of having caused harm in the past and of working with a Sand-Sound alliance that planned to attack the leaf. Shikaku emphasized that he did not wish to be used as a weapon and saw himself only as a silent protector of his land. Kurama replied that he had already spoken with Matatabi about the danger. Shikaku expressed relief and said they all needed to watch out for the Akatsuki, who were hunting tailed beasts one by one. Naruto asked Gaara for his name. Gaara introduced himself and then said he would keep an eye on the Otsutsuki siblings, mentioning that he had sensed the presence of another two-tailed Jinchuriki. When Naruto asked how he knew, Gaara said Shikaku had told him. Later, the Otsutsuki siblings arrived at the Hidden Leaf Academy and stood on the second-floor landing. Mio wondered aloud what was going on. Naruto explained that the testing process would sort the stronger genin from the weaker and that they should move to the third floor. They sighed and continued upward. On the way, Sakura greeted them. Naruto brusquely told her to save the conversation until they reached the third floor, and Sakura replied that she had not meant to offend him. Sai muttered something rude under his breath, and Sakura quickly covered his mouth and scolded him for speaking thoughtlessly. Naruto grew visibly irritated. Sasuke remarked that they brought bad luck to Naruto, and Sai dismissed the remark. When they reached the third floor and joined the other genin, Niji Hyuga demanded to know who the blonde newcomer was and asked for his name. Naruto responded with a hint of irritation, and Niji concluded that he was a rookie. The other students exchanged looks and quiet comments as the exams continued. Niji Hyuga demanded Naruto Otsutsuki's name, but Naruto refused. Niji repeated the question in surprise and activated his Byakugan. Naruto matched him by activating his own Byakugan as well. Niji reacted with shock and demanded how Naruto had obtained the Byakugan. Naruto insisted that the Hyuga clan were not the only Byakugan users. Tenten and Rock Lee gasped. Tenten called out to both Niji and Naruto, and Rock Lee urged them to calm down. Kiba Inuzuka scolded them for their behavior. Naruto and Niji immediately began throwing punches at each other. Tenten, Kiba, and Rock Lee reacted with alarm. Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino restrained Naruto while Tenten, Kiba, and Rock Lee held on to Niji. Shikamaru told Naruto to calm down. Ino warned them that they could be disqualified from the Chunin exams if they kept fighting. Naruto blamed Niji for the confrontation. Choji told Naruto not to worry about Niji. Mio Otsutsuki spoke Naruto's name and Ayumi Otsutsuki ordered Naruto to deactivate his Byakugan. Naruto sighed and complied. Fu praised Naruto's Byakugan, but Naruto and Gaara exchanged baffled looks and wondered how Fu had arrived there. Fu explained that she was also participating in the Chunin exams and teased Naruto about knowing people's roles. When Naruto tried to correct her, Fu grabbed him by the collar and insisted that no one steal her catchphrase. Mio reacted in surprise. Gaara pointed out something about Fu's appearance, and Fu became furious, threatening him in a heated outburst. Naruto intervened and held Fu back, scolding Gaara for crossing a line. The tailed beast spirits, Shikaku and Chome, exchanged remarks about not tolerating perverted comments, and Shikaku apologized to Chome for the incident. Later, all the genin took their seats in the classroom as Ibiki Marino entered. Ibiki introduced himself as the proctor for the first round and explained the written test rules. The students were to answer the first 9 questions within 10 minutes before attempting the 10th question, and anyone caught cheating would be disqualified. The genin focused on the 9 questions. Naruto suspected the test was a simple information-gathering exercise. Mio commented that the test was not bad, and Ayumi called it very easy. 10 minutes later, Ibiki called time and announced the 10th question. Naruto asked what would happen if someone failed to answer the 10th question. Ibiki explained that any genin who could not answer or who gave the wrong answer would fail, and that individual and their teammates would have to leave the exam. Several genin from other villages left the room. Naruto urged his classmates to pull themselves together and stay in the exam. Kiba replied that he was trying, and Niji told them to focus. Ibiki watched with mild puzzlement at how Naruto had rallied people to remain. Fu admitted to feeling a little nervous. Gaara advised patience. Chome and Shikaku discussed keeping an eye out for Orochimaru, tracking his movements just in case. Ibiki then announced that everyone who had remained in the room had passed. Temari reacted in disbelief, and some of the hidden stone genin protested loudly until Temari scolded them for their language. Mio wondered why so many had passed. Ibiki explained that the first 9 questions had been an information-gathering test. Naruto acknowledged that he had suspected as much. Ibiki continued, describing the realities of the ninja world. A shinobi must be able to infiltrate enemy territory, gather information, and escape unnoticed, and if captured, must not break under interrogation or reveal secrets to other villages. Mio identified the 10th question as an interrogation test, and Ibiki confirmed that the 10th question was to see whether they could withstand pressure. Fu insulted the proctor, calling him a scarred man, which left Ibiki surprised. Naruto and Gaara exchanged looks. Gaara remarked that Fu was unpredictable. Naruto observed that Fu had insulted the proctor, who turned out to be a high-ranking ANBU. Ibiki noted that Anko Mitarashi, the second proctor, had not yet arrived and, with the second proctor missing, allowed the students free time to talk. He departed the room. Izumo Kamizuki commented that the White Moon siblings had shown exceptional knowledge and had not cheated, making them strong candidates. Ibiki agreed and said the 3 would be watched closely as possible frontrunners for Chunin promotion. Kotetsu Hagane added that those 3 had been well focused during the preliminaries. Ibiki said they would see the final results after the Chunin exams. Not long after, Anko Mitarashi arrived and announced that the second exam was about to begin and urged the students to move quickly before risking disqualification. The genin gathered at the Forest of Death. Anko explained the rules for Training Ground 44. The forest contained wild animals and poisonous plants. Though intentional killing was restricted, teams would have 5 days to collect 1 Heaven Scroll and 1 Earth Scroll and were forbidden from opening them until they reached the Golden Tower. Kankuro joked about finding treasure, and Temari playfully smacked him for being an idiot. Naruto stressed that this was a survival test and that he did not want to see genin harmed by dangerous animals. Fu reassured everyone that food could be found in the forest and emphasized that this was a test of survival skills as ninja. Fu's teammates Ayana and Remina looked nervous. Ayana admitted they were getting anxious, and Remina asked whether the Forest of Death might contain genjutsu. Fu thought it unlikely. Later, Naruto and his teammates entered the Forest of Death. Mio reminded Naruto of their goal. Naruto confirmed that they were after the Earth Scroll and the Heaven Scroll and noted the competition structure. Out of 120 genin, only 60 had passed the first round and advanced to the second, and only 30 would move on to the third round. Ayumi did the math and pointed out the odds. Naruto said they had to secure their team's spot in the third round by retrieving both scrolls. Ayumi agreed that they must do their best. Meanwhile, Anko, Ibiki, Hiruzen, and Hanzo discovered several fallen hidden rain genin in the Forest of Death. Hanzo suspected that Orochimaru might be responsible for the casualties. Ibiki found the situation strange, and Hanzo warned that this was a serious problem and that leaf genin were now in grave danger. The third Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi explained that Orochimaru's main target was Sasuke Uchiha. Hanzo, the first Amikage, clarified that he meant the last member of the Uchiha clan, and Hiruzen confirmed it. Hanzo ordered tightened security around the hidden leaf, warning that the allied ninja task force could not afford Orochimaru going on a killing rampage. Anko Mitarashi volunteered to investigate the Forest of Death, and Hiruzen decided to summon Era and Kakashi for a meeting. Meanwhile, Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi were camping in the nearby bushes. Naruto warned they should be alert for Orochimaru's presence. Mio reported sensing him in the Forest of Death and suspected he was targeting someone. Ayumi identified Sasuke Uchiha as the likely target. Naruto agreed they needed to relocate team. A short while later, an explosion rang out to the north. The trio headed toward the sound and found Team 7 engaged in a fierce confrontation with a giant snake. Mio shouted at the sight of the serpent, and Naruto suspected Orochimaru's involvement. Ayumi insisted they had to stop Orochimaru immediately. Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi intervened, confronting Orochimaru directly. The 3 activated their Byakugan. Orochimaru reacted with disbelief at their Byakugan, noting the resemblance to the Hyuga. Sasuke warned Sakura to watch carefully and observed that their Byakugan seemed even more potent than the Hyuga clans. Sakura and Sai acknowledged the unexpected strength. Coordinating their movements, Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi executed a synchronized taijutsu assault that struck Orochimaru's chakra points. The technique forced Orochimaru to retreat, and he warned that he was not finished with them. The snake withdrew into the shadows. After the skirmish, Naruto asked Sasuke if he had been bitten by Orochimaru. Sasuke explained that he had nearly been bitten but had dodged in time, preventing Orochimaru from placing a curse mark. Naruto emphasized that Orochimaru posed a grave threat to the Hidden Leaf and proposed a joint task force. Sasuke agreed to the truce, noting that Orochimaru had targeted more than just him. Sakura and Sai supported the alliance. Naruto added that they needed to collect their Heaven and Earth scrolls and head for the tower immediately. Minutes later, the combined forces of Team Kakashi and Team Otsutsuki retrieved their respective Heaven and Earth scrolls and reached the tower. When Naruto opened his scroll, Era materialized to congratulate them on passing the trial and to acknowledge their encounter with Orochimaru. Mio explained that they had stumbled upon Orochimaru in the forest and that the Sannin had nearly harmed Sasuke before they intervened. When Sasuke opened his scroll, Kakashi emerged to congratulate the team as well and to point out that Era's group had rescued them from Orochimaru. Sasuke responded wryly that Orochimaru was a dangerous menace. Sakura and Sai agreed. Naruto noticed Team Gaara and Team Fu among the gathered shinobi. Temari approached Naruto and asked if he was Naruto Otsutsuki. He confirmed that he was. Gaara and Kankuro exchanged puzzled looks at Temari's forwardness, and Fu hoped the situation would not erupt into chaos. 5 days later, the third round of the Shinobi Battle Club tournament was about to begin. The arena buzzed with anticipation. Killer Bee opened the show, and a scuffle broke out between competitors, prompting Yagura, the fourth Mizukage, to sigh in exasperation. The next match was a tune-up between Naruto Otsutsuki and Kiba Inuzuka, both from the Leaf. Kiba boasted of his intent to win and even to become Hokage, while Naruto reminded him that these matches were warm-ups with the goal of qualifying for the top 8. Kiba and his canine partner Akamaru launched a ferocious opening assault using coordinated taijutsu, forcing Naruto to the ground though it did not seriously hinder him. Naruto countered by activating his Byakugan. Spectators murmured at the sight. Many assumed Byakugan use belonged only to the Hyuga, while others speculated about Naruto's lineage. Mio and Ayumi quietly explained that they and Naruto were members of the Otsutsuki clan by blood and that they had grown up as orphans after their parents, Leaf Shinobi, died when the siblings were 4. Kiba attempted a powerful spinning Fang attack, but Naruto anticipated the movement with his Byakugan and executed a rapid series of precise strikes. The 36 Assault Dragon Gentle Fist technique, breaking Kiba's momentum. The match escalated as Kiba tried to respond with a slam, but Naruto evaded and followed with a focused flurry of 3 decisive blows that left Kiba and Akamaru depleted of chakra. Kiba chose to forfeit. Hey-8 Gecko announced Naruto as the winner. Mio and Ayumi celebrated their brother's victory loudly. Era pointed out Naruto's tactical approach to Kakashi, who noted that Naruto had been trained in Byakugan use. Era added that the Byakugan they employed was far stronger than the typical Hyuga variant. Kiba admitted that he had earned Naruto's respect. Kiba explained that he and his puppy Akamaru needed to rest after they had run out of chakra. Naruto noted that everyone had grown more powerful and expressed hope that they could team up on future missions. Kiba said he looked forward to that. The next match would be Sakura Haruno against Ino Yamanaka, with Naruto overseeing them. Naruto warned that he would be angry if their rivalry over Sasuke ruined their friendship. Sasuke reacted with a dry comment about Naruto wanting to be a referee. Naruto reminded them to fight fair and follow the rules, warning that a double knockout would count as a draw and eliminate both of them. He reiterated that he had trained them both for several months. Asuma and Kakashi reacted with disbelief that Naruto had trained Sakura and Ino. Naruto called for Obito to act as referee. Obito reluctantly agreed, and Naruto assigned Obito and Hey-8 to watch the match. Hey-8 grumbled about working with Obito, who protested the insult. Kakashi face-bombed at Obito's outburst. Asuma and Kurenai were surprised that Obito was present and alive. Obito said he wished Rin could see the match because she would be very happy. Hey-8 urged them to start, and Obito told Sakura and Ino to take their positions. Sakura shouted that she could not lose, and Ino answered in kind. Obito and Heiei noted that arguing between them was typical of kunoichi. The match began. Ino used fire style, burning ash, surprising Asuma, who wondered how Naruto had taught her such a technique. Sakura responded with water style, water geyser, which made Kakashi remark that Sakura had learned water style jutsu. Obito guessed that Naruto had given them final mentoring shortly before the Chunin exams. Rin, sitting in the spectator seats, called to Obito. Obito greeted her. Kakashi, Kurenai, and Asuma were taken aback to see Rin there. Sakura moved to strike and formed an ice style, ice barrier. Mio and Ayumi cheered Sakura on. Rin commented that she had not expected Sakura to learn ice style. Obito observed that the match might not last long, and then both Ino and Sakura threw a decisive punch at the same time. Both fighters collapsed in a double knockout. Heiei declared a double KO and ruled it a draw, eliminating both competitors. Naruto and the others reacted quietly. Obito explained that both had overused their chakra and were exhausted. Kakashi added that they had relied too heavily on a mix of taijutsu and elemental jutsu. Naruto carried Ino and Sakura to a wooden bed he had summoned. Mio asked about the bed. Rin, Obito, and Kakashi were surprised. Asuma, Kurenai, and Might Guy reacted to Naruto's impulsiveness. Kurenai noted that Naruto had used a summoning technique to bring the bed. Asuma muttered that it was getting ridiculous. Ino and Sakura regained consciousness. Ino observed that they had used all their chakra and guessed Sai would be unhappy about the draw. Sakura suggested they put their rivalry aside and restore their friendship. She reminded Ino that Naruto would be upset if their friendship ended. Naruto said he would check the next match and urged them to rest. Ino and Sakura agreed to watch the rest of the tournament on the large screen while they recovered. The next match was Tenten vs Temari. Ayana asked for opinions, and Fu commented that Sakura and Ino were still solid kunoichi but that the Tenten vs Temari match would be decisive. Remaina admitted that both were strong, and Rock Lee and Niji reacted to the hype. Might Guy enthusiastically encouraged Tenten, who admitted she was nervous. Temari looked at Naruto and quietly said she intended to win for him. Naruto noted that this explained why she had been so close to him. In a brief flashback, Temari had observed that Naruto was blonde like her and had expressed a desire to marry him, moving closer in an affectionate gesture that surprised Sasuke, Sakura, Sai, Ayumi, and Mio. And Kankuro made light-hearted comments about her many fairy tale nicknames. The moment ended. The battle began. Tenten used Ice Style, Ice Spike Assault, while Temari countered with Wind Style, Wind Scythe. Tenten followed with Earth Style, Mud Wall. Temari complemented Tenten's skill before unleashing Wind Style, Dancing Desert Wind. Tenten performed a summoning and produced a double crimson fan nearly the size of Temari's own fan. Temari accused her of copying the fan. Tenten snapped back with an angry retort, and Naruto admonished her about her language. Tenten covered her mouth in surprise. Temari urged them to stop talking and finish the fight. Tenten vowed not to hold back and unleashed Fire Style, Blazing Firestorm. Temari responded with Wind Style, Endless Gusty Wind. The two techniques collided in a dramatic, anime-style explosion. Tenten emerged exhausted and said she could not continue. Despite her fatigue, the judges declared Tenten the winner, and the next match was announced as Hinata vs Niji. Obito grabbed some popcorn and joked that he was looking forward to the Hyuga match. Heiei reminded the fighters to compete fairly. Niji and Hinata both nodded, and Mio urged Naruto to watch carefully. The announcer introduced the two Hyuga clan members as arch-rivals and urged everyone to watch their skills. Naruto Otsutsuki remarked that they were both reckless members of the Hyuga clan. Ayumi and Mio responded in flat tones that Niji and Hinata were notoriously difficult. As the battle began, Niji and Hinata activated their Byakugans. Hinata launched an intense counterattack using 8 trigrams vacuum wall palm and then the 8 trigrams 64 palms. Niji evaluated her calmly and challenged her to prove her strength. Hinata insisted she would not run and wanted to show she was not weak. Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi observed quietly while Naruto wondered whether Niji would truly harm a cousin, and Mio said they would have to find out. Ayumi questioned the difference between destiny and fate. Naruto reflected that no two ninjas share the exact same suffering and that the road to destiny is guided by a shinobi's will to protect and persevere. Sasuke summarized that shinobi are defined by endurance toward their goals, and Naruto credited this as an old philosophy of the first Hokage. Kiba and Shino exchanged uncertain looks when asked if Hinata could win. Shino admitted he did not know. Niji eventually managed to defeat Hinata. Hayate announced Niji as the winner. Kiba protested angrily at Niji for what he had done to Hinata, and Mio and Ayumi scolded him for his language. Naruto suggested Niji might have used unfair tactics, and Niji replied coldly that others would suffer the same result. Akamaru surprised Naruto with an energetic nip, and Naruto yelped in surprise. Kiba scolded his dog playfully, and Obito, Rin, and Kakashi shared incredulous expressions at Niji's actions. In another match, Mio of the Leaf faced Zaku Abumi of the Sound. Zaku taunted Mio, provoking her into action. Mio responded with a fierce flurry she called 47 Assault Dragon Gentle Fists, and she landed a rapid series of strikes that overwhelmed Zaku. Hinata observed that the assault combined aspects of the traditional 64 palm technique with her clan's Gentle Fist to form a fast, combo-style taijutsu. Other matches concluded with the following winners: Sasuke Uchiha over Dosu Kuruto, Ayumi Otsutsuki over Kin Tsuchi, Shikamaru Nara over Kankro, Ayana of the Waterfall over Shino Aburame, Remina of the Waterfall over Choji Akimichi, and Fu of the Waterfall over Sai Yamanaka. Naruto congratulated Fu with a casual taunt, and Fu asked him to stop stealing her catchphrase. Kiba warned Naruto not to insult Fu, saying she would give him a hard time. Naruto thanked him dryly. A few days later, the match between Naruto and Niji began. Niji declared that it was kill or be killed, but Naruto countered that killing a clan member was a crime and said he intended to punish Niji for his unlawful treatment of Hinata. Might Guy noted that Naruto had borrowed his line. Hinata's face flushed at being called a princess, and she fainted from the shock, prompting Kiba to rush to her side. Sakura and Ino exchanged comments, wondering if Hinata had feelings for Naruto. Niji opened with 10 trigrams 200 palms, delivering a rapid barrage of chakra strikes. Naruto remained standing and activated a powerful ocular form, surprising the crowd. Bystanders questioned how he could have such an ability. Obito, Rin, and Kakashi discussed the possibility that Naruto might have ties to multiple clans and ancestral lineages, including the Otsutsuki. Niji moved to strike again, and Naruto replied with a technique he called 15 trigram 300 palms, a rapid series of strikes akin to Hyuga clan methods. Niji expressed disbelief that Naruto possessed both advanced ocular power and Byakugan-like sight. Naruto explained that he had been called the White Moon Sage and then deactivated his enhanced ocular form to rely only on Byakugan. Sasuke complained about the deactivation, and Obito and Itachi cautioned that overusing such ocular powers could lead to severe consequences, including blindness. As Niji launched a decisive attack, Naruto deftly evaded the Gentle Fist and countered with a combination he named White Moon Assault Twin Dragon Power Fists, striking Niji's chakra points in a precise, non-graphic way. Niji collapsed, unable to continue. Hayate announced Naruto as the winner. Naruto objected to being called wild, insisting he was not reckless. Mio identified Naruto's finishing move as derived from earlier Dragon Gentle Fist techniques, and Hinata admitted she now respected Naruto and felt inspired to learn and improve. Later, Mio mentioned she had used the 47 Assault Dragon Gentle Fists against Zaku and had not yet trained in the full 64 Assault variant, and Hinata reacted with quiet interest. Naruto realized he had been misinformed, but he still wanted to learn the secrets of the White Moon Assault Dragon Power Fists. Mio explained that the technique required extensive training and agreed to consider his request, noting that Naruto had already shown excellent taijutsu skill and tact, even more so than Rock Lee. Hinata reacted quietly and nervously. Niji woke and acknowledged that Naruto had defeated him, asking how strong Naruto truly was. Naruto explained that he had trained for months before the Chunin exams with his siblings Mio and Ayumi, guided by their clan inheritance and ancestral teachings. He added that he would not judge someone who sought to understand the difference between destiny and fate. Neji asked how Naruto knew so much. Naruto replied that the ninja world had strict expectations. Breaking the rules carried a stigma, abandoning comrades was worse, and intentionally harming family or clan members was unacceptable. Obito and Kakashi exchanged looks at Naruto's words. Obito observed that a different standard applied when a sibling or cousin was harmed, and Kakashi remarked that Naruto's experiences had shaped a strong personal philosophy. Neji rose and said he was impressed and would apologize to Hinata for treating her harshly. Naruto suggested Neji train Hinata to make her stronger. Neji agreed and said that Hinata needed a sparring partner. Later, the tournament finalists were announced. Naruto wondered who would advance to the final 5 and speculated that the final rounds might include both one-on-one matches and a triple threat. Sasuke dismissed the notion as overly dramatic. The tournament bracket played out. Gaara faced Mio, Naruto faced Ramina, Sasuke faced Fu, Shikamaru faced Ayana, and Ayumi faced Temari. Gaara defeated Mio, Naruto defeated Ramina, Sasuke defeated Fu, Shikamaru defeated Ayana, and Ayumi defeated Temari. The final 5 format would include both one-on-one bouts and a 3-way match. In the finals, Naruto defeated Gaara, and Sasuke prevailed in a 3-way contest against Shikamaru and Ayumi. Hiruzen, the third Hokage, announced the winners of the Shinobi Battle Club tournament and promoted Naruto and Sasuke to the rank of Chunin. Naruto celebrated the promotion enthusiastically, and Sasuke acknowledged it with restrained approval. Mio and Ayumi cheered for their brother, while Shikamaru reacted with a weary remark and a promise to look forward to next year's exams. The celebration was abruptly interrupted when Orochimaru entered the arena, drawing a kunai and confronting Hiruzen. Orochimaru addressed Hiruzen after a long absence. Hiruzen rebuked him for sneaking into the hidden leaf and accused him of killing the 4th Kazekage. The 4th Raikage demanded confirmation at the accusation, and Inoki, the 3rd Tsuchikage, declared Orochimaru's actions unforgivable, reminding everyone that the allied villages had sworn to prevent further bloodshed and had established a peace treaty to end the 3rd Great Ninja War. Orochimaru reminded Inoki that they had faced the 4th Hokage in battle before. Inoki replied that past conflicts had given way to a treaty meant to protect all villages. Hiruzen accused Orochimaru and Danzo of betraying the leaf with illegal experiments en route. Fu Yamanaka asked whether they should deal with Orochimaru immediately. Hiruzen said that he and the other Kages would handle Orochimaru while Toryun and Fu were ordered to manage the sound ninjas in the arena. Toryun and Fu moved to follow the directive. Elsewhere, Obito, Rin, and Kakashi worked to contain the sound ninja threat in the spectator stands. Obito noted Orochimaru's presence. Rin said she despised the snake-like commander, and Kakashi warned them to remain alert. Itachi and Sasuke engaged Kaguya and the remaining members of the Sound Four. Itachi recognized they had been sent by Orochimaru to target his brother and vowed to stop them. Both Itachi and Sasuke activated their Sharingan. Izumi arrived and offered her assistance. Itachi welcomed her timely support. Sasuke expressed determination to demonstrate the full power of the Uchiha abilities against the Sound Four. Naruto and the Otsutsuki siblings were also fighting the Sound Ninja forces when reinforcements from the Sand arrived. Baki and the Sand Ninja contingent joined the battle, demanding justice for Lord Raza, the 4th Kazekage. Naruto called out for Gaara, Temari, and Kankuro. Kankuro assured Naruto that the Sand would stand with them and deal with the Sound threat, while Temari offered her support in a teasing, yet supportive, manner. Naruto responded with a wry acknowledgement and the group refocused on the fight. Mio urged everyone to concentrate on handling the Sound Ninjas. Ayumi called for Era-sensei, and Era confirmed she was ready. Naruto and the Otsutsuki siblings activated their Byakugan. Era unleashed a rapid palm technique that dispersed several Sound Ninjas. Naruto used a wind-style technique to unsettle opponents, and Ayumi and Mio coordinated a series of swift gentle fist strikes that neutralized multiple enemies. The White Moon siblings and Era pushed the sound forces back with precise, coordinated attacks. Killer Bee and Yujito arrived to reinforce the allies. Killer Bee announced his presence with characteristic flair, and Yujito identified herself. Fu and Gaara were surprised by the new arrivals, and Yamato-style banter followed as Killer Bee's boldness contrasted with Fu's dry humor. Yujito proposed a Jinchuriki team-up, and both Fu and Gaara agreed to coordinate with her. Naruto and his siblings continued to press against the Sound Ninjas, but Kankuro warned Naruto that Orochimaru was heading toward the third Hokage. Naruto vowed not to let Orochimaru harm Hiruzen. Ayumi and Mio joined Naruto immediately, declaring their intention to show the strength of the White Moon siblings and protect the Hidden Leaf. Mio invoked their ancestral promise to defend the ninja world and emphasized that they could not allow Orochimaru to tear the village apart. Kuretsuchi then arrived and told Naruto that she and Era would hold the Sound Ninjas while the others moved to protect Hiruzen. The allies surged forward in coordinated defense, preparing to confront Orochimaru and safeguard the village leadership. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, ordered Naruto and his sisters to stop Orochimaru from invading the Hidden Leaf. Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi nodded and activated the Infinite White Moon teleportation jutsu, vanishing from the council hall. Kuretsuchi observed that the teleportation was even more powerful than the flying Raijin jutsu. Naruto Otsutsuki explained that the Infinite White Moon teleportation jutsu was the strongest among teleportation techniques. Orochimaru then summoned 2 coffins. Hiruzen reacted with alarm and declared that he could not allow anyone to control the late 4th Hokage. Orochimaru attempted to summon a 3rd coffin, but failed. At that moment Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi arrived. Hiruzen questioned why the 3 had come. Naruto replied that they had come to assist and that the 2 coffins contained reanimated versions of the 1st and 2nd Hokage. Hiruzen acknowledged that the 2 in front of them were the Senju brothers, though he remained unsure whether any Senju were still alive aside from Tsunade. The 2 coffins opened. Hashirama Senju, the 1st Hokage, stated that Orochimaru had used a forbidden jutsu to disturb the dead. Tobirama Senju, the 2nd Hokage, agreed. Hiruzen accused Orochimaru of disturbing the resting dead. Yagura Karatachi, the 4th Mizukage, told Mei to prepare to assist the 3rd Hokage. Meitrumi confirmed that she was ready. Anoki, the 3rd Tsuchikage, asked the Raikage for agreement. The 4th Raikage agreed and said he trusted Naruto and his siblings to handle Orochimaru. Anoki called the allied Kage to action. Hiruzen confronted the 2 previous Hokage. Tobirama joked that Hiruzen looked like an old monkey of hell. Hiruzen admitted it with a weary remark, and Mio warned Hiruzen not to be tempted, insisting that those before them were not truly Hashirama and Tobirama. Hiruzen said he was fully aware of that. The 2 reanimated Hokage charged at Hiruzen. Mei warned that they were coming. Yagura instructed Anoki and the Raikage to divide the opponents. They would handle the 2nd Hokage while Anoki and A dealt with the 1st. The Raikage and Anoki nodded and the Kage began their clash in an intense, high-energy battle. While the allied Kage engaged the 1st and 2nd Hokage, Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi confronted Orochimaru. Orochimaru proclaimed that they underestimated his abilities and summoned his Kusanagi sword. Naruto answered by summoning his Kubo Kiribocho, and Mio and Ayumi summoned their respective blades. The 3 siblings clashed with Orochimaru in a fast-paced, anime-style fight. Orochimaru triggered a secret trapdoor, and Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi fell into it. Orochimaru declared his intent to finish Hiruzen as he left. The siblings found themselves trapped inside an unknown fortress. Naruto asked what the place was. Mio identified it as one of Orochimaru's traps. Ayumi said they had been placed into some kind of sealed structure, and Naruto clarified that it was an unfamiliar fortress rather than a normal dimension. They agreed they had to escape. The 3 leapt into the air and combined their chakra to unleash their ultimate ninja art, White Moon Surging Power Sphere. The large sphere struck the ceiling and forced their way out of the fortress, allowing them to return to the battle. Orochimaru reacted with surprise at their escape. Naruto explained that the fortress had been an old temple of the Leaf's snake sect. Mio announced that they would demonstrate the true strength of the Otsutsuki siblings. Orochimaru drew his Kusanagi once more. Together Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi used a coordinated assault called Triple O Assault Dragon Gentle Fists, striking Orochimaru's chakra points and leaving him weakened. They then employed a reverse power sealing technique to seal the jutsu Orochimaru was using, neutralizing his most dangerous abilities. Orochimaru complained that his jutsu had been sealed. Tobirama and Hashirama glowed with chakra and then began to fade. Hiruzen praised Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi for sealing Orochimaru's technique. Tobirama said he would leave the battle to Hiruzen and faded away. Hashirama urged Hiruzen not to die in vain because many people in the Leaf still needed him, and he too faded. The Sound Four carried Orochimaru away and retreated. Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi collapsed to the ground, exhausted. Naruto noted that they were running low on chakra, and Mio and Ayumi agreed. Ayumi observed that a few sound ninjas were retreating. Because the three had saved his life from Orochimaru, Hiruzen announced at the Leaf Council that Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi would receive promotions. He promoted the two sisters to Jonin rank and awarded Naruto a double promotion as well. Mio and Ayumi formally accepted their promotions. Hiruzen explained that as Jonin they could choose regular missions, apply to ANBU Black Ops, or form their own squads. Mio and Ayumi decided to form their own teams. Naruto said he did not mind if they formed squads, and Hiruzen left the decision to them. 2 weeks later, Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi took a break from missions and trained at the Otsutsuki compound near the Hyuga compound and the newly built Uchiha compound. Kanomaru, Moegi, and Udon arrived asking Naruto to train them so they could be stronger when they became genin. Naruto agreed to help them train alongside his siblings. Niji Hyuga then appeared and asked what was happening. Naruto explained that Konohamaru and his friends wanted training to prepare for becoming genin. Niji asked when Naruto could be available to train Hinata, noting that he had already started her initial training at the Hyuga compound. Naruto said he would arrange a proper schedule for Hinata's training and wanted her to receive excellent instruction to develop her ninja skills. Niji said he would inform Hinata once the schedule was set. Naruto added that he would have Mio and Ayumi help with Hinata's extensive elite training. Mio and Ayumi reacted with surprise and asked why they were chosen. Naruto explained that Hinata needed to excel as the Hyuga heiress and that she reminded him of Himiko Hyuga. Niji mentioned that Himiko had passed the Chunin exams the previous year and had led Team 4, which included Kiyomi Uchiha and Menma Namikaze. Mio then asked about Kiyomi Uchiha. Niji Hyuga said he was surprised that the Uchiha Duckbutt had a twin sister and that he would inform Hinata. Then he vanished. Naruto Otsutsuki announced that he would begin the elite training for Konohamaru, Moegi, and Udon right away. Obito and Rin entered the Ichiraku ramen restaurant. Obito remarked that this was the place Naruto loved to eat ramen, just as he did. Rin remembered their childhood visits to the local ramen stall. Obito asked to be sure to thank teacher Minato for the opportunity. He noted that Minato and Kushina had a son, Menma Namikaze, who had passed last year's Chunin exam. Rin said she had read Menma's biography and that he had been the most brilliant in his class. Obito mentioned that Kakashi had told him everything after developing a relationship with Himiko Hyuga and Kiyomi Uchiha. Rin responded dryly, noting the awkwardness of it all, and then observed that it was almost like a double date. Nearly 4 weeks after Hinata's training with the Otsutsuki, Naruto and his siblings were heading out on dangerous missions. As they approached the nearby village gates, 5 rogue ninjas advanced toward them. Kisame Hoshigaki demanded that the 9-tailed Jinchuriki come with their group. Naruto refused. Deidara threatened to tear the Leaf Village apart. Naruto recognized them as members of the S-rank criminal organization, the Akatsuki. Mio Otsutsuki reminded the others that their elders Kaguya, Hagoromo, and Himura had warned them about the Akatsuki, who sought the tailed beasts. Ayumi challenged the Akatsuki, declaring they would have to get past them first. Deidara sneered that it would be their funeral. The fight began. Kotetsu Hagane and Izumo Kamizuki rushed off to warn the third Hokage. Soon Yujito, Killer Bee, Gaara, and Fu arrived. Yujito confirmed it was the Akatsuki, and Killer Bee said they would have to handle the situation themselves. Fu tossed a pan at Killer Bee in a joking reprimand, and Gaara agreed that Fu had a point. Naruto and his siblings joined forces with the allied Jinchuriki. Kakuzu was surprised at the number opposing them. Haiden prepared to strike, provoking Yujito to fury. Killer Bee restrained Yujito and reminded everyone they needed to fight as a team. Gaara called for a coordinated attack. Naruto proposed dividing their forces. He and his siblings would handle Kisame, while the Jinchuriki would take on the other threats. Soon Yagura, Utakata, Rashi, and Han arrived on the scene. Yagura joked about missing the Royal Rumble. Kisame expressed respect at facing the Mizukichi. Tension and shouted accusations rippled between the combatants, but Deidara and the others remained defiant. Fu, Rashi, and Han agreed to adopt the Otsutsuki surname for the duration of the conflict, and Naruto and his siblings accepted them as exceptional members of their group. The battle escalated with coordinated techniques exchanged across the field. Rashi unleashed a lava-style technique that swept toward the enemy, but the 5 Akatsuki members dodged and charged at Yagura. Yagura countered with a water-style mirror technique that created reflective defenses. Haiden reacted with frustration while Sasori noted their opponent's strength. Utakata used a water-style bubble technique that the attackers avoided. Fu used a secret ninjutsu that temporarily blinded the 5 Akatsuki members, disrupting their formation. Yujito unleashed a fiery attack that took on a small, mouse-like shape and then burst into a barrage of explosive projectiles. Kisame shouted in alarm as the field of battle shifted. Killer Bee then launched a powerful lariat technique that struck Kisame and overwhelmed him. Kisame was defeated in the clash. Kakuzu confirmed that Kisame was down, and Deidara could not believe it. Killer Bee asked who would step forward next. Haiden raged on, invoking his faith in Jashin, but Naruto said he had studied Haiden's moves and identified that Haiden's weakness was Kakuzu. Kakuzu reacted to that claim. Reinforcements arrived. Kankuro scolded the Akatsuki for trespassing into allied territory. Haiden attacked, and Naruto countered with a rapid lightning-style assault followed by a devastating lightning hammer technique. The lightning struck Haiden and left him defeated. Kakuzu acknowledged Haiden's fall. Deidara was incredulous as the Akatsuki members who remained retreated at Kakuzu's command. Naruto then revealed that he had earned the title Sage of the White Moon and identified himself as Naruto Otsutsuki. Sasori and Deidara withdrew to regroup. At the Akatsuki base, Pain learned that Haiden and Kisame had been defeated. Black Zetsu observed that all the Jinchuriki had gathered and that Naruto's lineage as a descendant of Hagoromo Otsutsuki made him a dangerous adversary. They worried that, if left unchecked, the allied forces and the Hidden Leaf could derail their plans, especially with Hanzo aligned against them. Pain lamented Hanzo's stubbornness and determined that they would wait for their next plan. At the Allied Ninja Task Force headquarters, the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, acknowledged that the Akatsuki were targeting the tailed beasts and that Naruto had eliminated 2 of their members. Hanzo, the first Amakage, praised the effort but expressed concern that the Akatsuki would recruit replacements. Shibuki, the second Takakage, agreed that the Akatsuki would not stop until they had collected every tailed beast. The fourth Raikage stated that the Akatsuki and Orochimaru represented the main threats to the alliance and commended Killer Bee for defeating the rogue shark-faced ninja and recovering Samehada. Yugura suggested Bee consider himself fortunate. Hiruzen confirmed he had contacted Tsunade, and that she would return to the Leaf Village in response to the threats posed by Orochimaru and the Akatsuki. Hiruzen said he might retire as 3rd Hokage and that Tsunade would replace him as 5th Hokage. The leaders began to discuss the positions of the Hidden Sand Village and the next steps for the alliance. A council member observed that the sand needed a new Kazekage after Raza had been murdered by Orochimaru. Baki said that he and the other Sand Council members would discuss who would become the 5th Kazekage and that they would likely send Gaara to elite training, since he appeared to be a potential candidate. Mei Terumi, the 5th Mizukichi, said they would continue monitoring Orochimaru's movements and the Akatsuki's activities. Chapter end. The next morning Naruto left the compound. Era Otsutsuki asked where he was going. Naruto explained that he was heading out on a Red Stag Beetle mission with Team 8. Era asked if he had seen Mio, and Naruto answered that Mio was training Hinata to help her regain her fighting spirit. Naruto added that he, Kiba, and Shino had been sent on the mission by Kurenai. Era wished them luck and said that she and Ayumi would focus on extensive ninshu training. Later, Kiba, Shino, and Naruto arrived at the Red Primal Forest. Naruto remarked that this was the Red Primal Forest. Kiba explained that Itachi and Sasuke had been training here for months and that the red stag beetle was the specimen Shino needed to collect. Naruto made a joking comment about the beetle, and Shino responded by explaining that red stag beetles can release a loud, foul-smelling red smoke when disturbed. He said that only a few people in the leaf, including himself, had studied the red stag beetle for years. Naruto then noticed a beetle under a log and identified it as the red-striped longhorned beetle, a species he had occasionally seen in the woodlands. Shino teased that Naruto was becoming the shinobi world's doctor for animals and explained that the red-striped longhorned beetle fed on wild plants and berries. He recalled seeing them 2 weeks earlier feeding on ferns and orchids. They pressed deeper into the forest and finally spotted a giant red stag beetle. Naruto reacted with surprise at the size of the creature. Kiba looked uneasy, and Shino warned that they had disturbed the beetle and it was about to release a cloud of foul red smoke. The beetle emitted a large cloud of red-smelling smoke and resumed feeding on surrounding ferns. Shino noted that this specimen was special and very rare. A second giant beetle, the green-legged stag beetle, appeared behind Naruto. He turned to find it and expressed surprise. Shino identified it as the green-legged stag beetle and said it was also vegetarian, preferring berries, fruits, and ferns. Shino assigned the green-legged beetle to Naruto and kept the red one for himself, suggesting Naruto could get familiar with it. That afternoon, Naruto returned to the Otsutsuki compound and announced that the mission had been accomplished. Mio asked why he had brought another green-legged stag beetle. Naruto explained that the beetle had gotten lost. Mio instructed him to place it in the zoological pen with the others and not to forget to feed them. Naruto placed the beetle in the pen. Chapter end. The next morning Menma called Naruto for a meeting and told him that Tsunade Senju had accepted the position of 5th Hokage. Naruto reacted with relief and commented that this meant the 3rd Hokage might be stepping back to let the council resume some duties. Menma said it was good to have another Senju as Hokage, and Naruto noted that Tsunade was one of the 3 legendary Sannin alongside Jiraiya and Orochimaru, lamenting that Orochimaru had turned to darker paths. Menma mentioned that they still had no clear indication of when Orochimaru might strike again from the hidden Sound Village. When Naruto asked about Jiraiya, Menma said that the Toad Sage was relaxing at the hot springs. Naruto expressed his dislike for the old sage. Later, Naruto went to Ichiraka Ramen. Tucci greeted him and Naruto ordered a bowl of spicy shrimp ramen. Ayam was told to prepare it. Meanwhile, Tsunade met with the council to address the recent threats. Tsunade said that Orochimaru, now leading the Hidden Sound Village, had attempted to destroy the Hidden Leaf. Hiruzen, the 3rd Hokage, added that the Akatsuki had also attacked and that Naruto had fought them and managed to defeat 2 members. Tsunade said that this gave them an opportunity to outmaneuver the Akatsuki but that they still needed the Sand to join the allied ninja task force. Koharu Yuditane commented that the Sand would likely only join once they had a 5th Kazekage. Hamura Mitokado suggested that Gaara, the one-tailed Jinchuriki, could be a candidate for the Kazekage position. Tsunade emphasized the need to strengthen the allied ninja task force to withstand attacks from Orochimaru and the Akatsuki and warned that it would be a serious problem if Orochimaru allied with the Akatsuki. Hiruzen declared Orochimaru the most wanted criminal and said the ANBU Black Ops would prepare for operations against him, noting that Orochimaru had the Sound Four as formidable servants. Tsunade approved plans for a substantial assault against the Hidden Sound Village if necessary. After the meeting, Naruto was on his way back to the Otsutsuki compound when he stumbled into Hinata. Hinata greeted him. Naruto observed that she looked stronger and remarked that Mio and Niji had trained her hard. Hinata said the training had been difficult but had come from a mutual effort between the Hyuga and Otsutsuki clans. Naruto explained that Eira, the Otsutsuki clan head, had met with Hinata's father, Hayashi, to formalize the agreement of mutual friendship between their clans. Chapter end. Later, Naruto confided that he still had plans to restore the Otsutsuki clan through a new policy he called the Clan Restoration Act. Hinata asked what that meant. Naruto clarified that the policy was intended as a cultural and political program to rebuild the clan by encouraging arranged marriages and growing the family line over generations. Hinata, teasingly exasperated, asked why grandchildren were part of the plan, joking about becoming a grandmother. Naruto quickly tried to clarify that he had not meant it in the way she teased. Naruto noted that he still needed to discuss the matter with Era, who was the current clan head and the princess of the Otsutsuki clan. Hinata felt surprised to learn that Era held that status. Naruto explained that Era was the most powerful member of their clan despite being one of the last remaining Otsutsuki. Later at the Otsutsuki compound, Era spoke about the Clan Restoration Act as the solution to their clan's risk of extinction. Naruto asked for opinions. Era said the policy would be established within the Leaf Village and that she intended to speak with the Hidden Leaf leadership. Naruto hoped Lady Tsunade would approve the plan. At the Hokage's office, Tsunade questioned the idea of reviving a clan through such a policy. Naruto responded that his goal was to restore the Otsutsuki line, and that he had considered marrying multiple kunoichi of his generation to help that effort. Era asked whether Tsunade would approve the policy. Tsunade agreed, noting the Otsutsuki clan was likely ancestral to many modern clans and that she would approve, but left the implementation details and new rules to Era and Naruto. Back at the Hyuga compound, Niji reflected on the Clan Restoration Act and Naruto's plan to revive his clan by marrying certain kunoichi. Hinata confirmed that Naruto had told her this. Hayashi suggested that Era would be the one to implement the new rules and regulations to restore the Otsutsuki. Niji agreed with his father and said the Hyuga would support Naruto's decision. At the Otsutsuki clan compound, Era called a meeting with Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi to discuss the implementation of the Clan Restoration Act. Mio and Ayumi both voiced support for Naruto's future marriage plans. Era began drafting the new rules and regulations. Naruto proposed starting with an expansion of the compound, and Era agreed that expanding the vacant area would be a good first step. 2 days after the Clan Restoration Act began, a group of Dark Shadow ninjas ambushed a team of Leaf A and Bu. Yugao reacted in alarm. Fu reported the attackers were unknown, and Toryun discovered his insects could not detect their presence. A and Bu identified them as Dark Shadow ninjas and scrambled to find them. Mio, Yumi, and Era were returning home when they were surrounded by the same Dark Shadow ninjas. Era warned that these were unwelcome visitors and the trio prepared to defend themselves. The attackers threw explosive tags, and a blast knocked Ayumi down among the debris. Ayumi reported pain in her ankles and said Era and Mio were unconscious. She assured Naruto that she would use her medical ninjutsu to heal them and urged him to pursue the attackers. Naruto nodded and rushed off. During the chase, Naruto recognized the attackers were wearing sound headbands. Kurama cautioned that they were likely Orochimaru's subordinates. Naruto launched a series of elemental techniques to stop them, and the ninjas dodged and countered with swift, coordinated attacks. Naruto used his Byakugan and cold-based techniques to topple several assailants. Rock Lee arrived to assist, explaining that Naruto could not handle them alone and that he would use his taijutsu to counter their agility. Naruto and Rock Lee joined forces, combining taijutsu and ocular insight to bring down many of the Dark Shadow ninjas. Rock Lee employed powerful open-gate maneuvers while Naruto used precise gentle fist techniques. Their teamwork thinned the enemy ranks. Reinforcements arrived in the form of Kakashi, Sasuke, Itachi, and Obito. Obito directed fire jutsu, Sasuke and Itachi added their own fire techniques, and Kakashi used lightning attacks. With their combined effort, the Leaf Shinobi overwhelmed the attackers and subdued the remaining Dark Shadow ninjas. Naruto identified them as operatives from the Hidden Sound. Obito observed that Orochimaru had gone too far, and Sasuke urged that they report the incident to Tsunade immediately. Back at the Otsutsuki compound, Ayumi, Era, and Mio rested under blankets after the encounter. Niji and Hinata came to check on them. Hinata asked about their condition, and Naruto explained that they had suffered setbacks and that the attackers turned out to be Hidden Sound operatives. Ayumi noted that Orochimaru had been targeting them repeatedly instead of focusing solely on Sasuke. Naruto added that Itachi and Obito were aware of Orochimaru's plans. Era said the only way to stop him might be to eliminate Orochimaru and suggested infiltrating the Hidden Sound Village. Naruto pointed out that the Hidden Sound had many experimental labs and that they needed to halt illegal experiments on captured ninjas and civilians. Neji warned that Orochimaru would not give up easily, since he had used forbidden means in the past. Era, Mio, and Ayumi rose to their feet. Era proposed contacting Enko to assist with infiltration. Hinata asked who would handle the Sound 4 and the other powerful sound operatives. Neji outlined a plan. He, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, and Shino would confront the Sound 4, while others would focus on the broader mission. Naruto acknowledged that it would be a dangerous operation. At the Hokage's office, Tsunade warned that the mission would be the most dangerous the Allied Ninja Task Force had faced. She assigned Neji, Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, and Shino to handle the Sound 4, and announced that Naruto would lead the infiltration with his team. Her order was to eliminate Orochimaru as the only way to stop the chaos he had caused for years. Hiruzen agreed and explained that Orochimaru's obsession with Sasuke's eyes had put Naruto and his teammates directly in his sights, so killing Orochimaru was the only solution. He invoked the will of fire and wished them luck. Naruto thanked the Hokage. Tsunade added that Menma was the only son of Minato and Kushina. Mio confirmed that they would undertake the mission. Meanwhile, Jiraiya trained Menma and noted the circling crows as a sign that Naruto's team was on the mission. Jiraiya expressed faith in Naruto as the prophesied figure Fukasaku and Gamabunta had mentioned. Menma agreed, and Jiraiya briskly scolded his teasing. As Naruto's team approached the Hidden Sound Village, they were confronted by members of the Sound 5. Neji instructed Naruto to head for the village entrance while his squad held the attackers off. Neji took on Kidamaru, Kiba and Shino faced Sakan and Yukon, Shikamaru engaged Taiyuya, and Choji squared off with Jirobo. Kidamaru challenged Neji, and Neji replied with a calm warning before their duel began. Kiba and Shino faced the twins Sakan and Yukon, and Kiba called for Akamaru as they prepared to strike. Akamaru barked in response, and Shino confirmed he would watch their backs. Kiba and Akamaru launched into an offensive. Naruto, Mio, Yumi, and Era reached the entrance of the Hidden Sound Village as a wave of sound ninjas charged at them. The four performed a coordinated close-quarters assault, a powerful fist technique, and managed to overwhelm the attackers without graphic injury. The enemies were defeated and the path cleared. Naruto urged the team to move quickly toward Orochimaru's lair. As they ran across a nearby bridge, Kabuto intercepted them and hinted he would detain them for Orochimaru. Naruto identified Kabuto as Orochimaru's right-hand man, and Era expressed disbelief at his betrayal of the leaf. Reinforcements arrived on the bridge in the form of Hayate and Yugao, and Fu Yamanaka and Toryun Aburame declared they would hold Kabuto off so Naruto's team could continue. The group acknowledged them and pressed on. In the center of the village they finally confronted Orochimaru. Orochimaru taunted them, amused that they had taken down his dark shadow ninjas. Naruto demanded to know how Orochimaru had recruited those forces and declared that this time they would end his threat. Orochimaru laughed at their courage and summoned his Kusanagi sword. Mio warned them to watch the blade. Naruto produced two distinctive blades of his own while Mio and Ayumi drew their katanas. Era, acting as the team's water specialist, released a water-based mist technique that cloaked the area in fog. Orochimaru spat insults as the battle intensified. Naruto unleashed a lightning technique that struck Orochimaru in the shoulders and slowed him down. Mio followed with a fire-style burning ash technique that continued to pressure him. Ayumi steadied herself, activated her ocular power, and, using a focused lightning blade technique, struck Orochimaru in the chest. She declared that their ocular power was not to be underestimated. Orochimaru collapsed from the combined assault and fell, no gruesome details given. He was defeated. Naruto acknowledged that Orochimaru was finally gone. An earthquake began to shake the village as structures started to give way. Naruto warned that the place was collapsing, and Era urged everyone to retreat. Naruto, Ayumi, Mio, and Era used a retreat technique to teleport away and managed to escape through the entrance alive. Hayate and the others were also evacuated unharmed, leaving Kabuto behind after he had been overcome. Inside the hidden sound base, Zaku Abumi and Kin Tsuchi moved through the complex, eliminating remaining loyalists of Orochimaru with precise shadow clone and projectile techniques. Kin explained that they needed to destroy unused laboratories and planted explosive tags throughout the abandoned research areas. The labs were detonated in a controlled fashion, and Zaku and Kin swept through the compound to neutralize remaining threats without graphic detail. Kin suggested they head to the north gates to search for captive ninjas, noting that Orochimaru had been capturing genin and chunin from other villages for experiments. Zaku agreed, and they set off north. Back at the front, Kiba and Shino continued to struggle against Sakan and Yukon, refusing to give up. As the fight wore on, reinforcements arrived for the Allied Ninja Task Force. Yujito, Yagura, Rashi, Han, Utakata, Fu, Killer Bee, and Gaara. Kidamaru realized they were now facing the full Allied force, and Taiyuya reacted with frustration as the battle entered a new phase. Lord Orochimaru had not told them that the Leaf were already forming an alliance with the other nations, and the gathered shinobi reacted with alarm. Temari arrived and warned Taiyuya not to consider interference. Taiyuya accepted the challenge and offered a fair fight. Yujito Ni demanded to know where Naruto was, and Niji Hyuga deadpanned that Naruto and his team had already infiltrated the hidden sound village. Yujito and Fu reacted in stunned disbelief. Yagura, Rashi, Han, Utakata, Killer Bee, and Gaara exchanged looks of concern. Yagura Karatachi, the fourth Mizukage, muttered that Naruto was reckless, and Utakata said he had told Naruto to wait for the others. Rashi noted that Orochimaru was a legendary Sannin. Niji pointed out that Naruto had not mentioned these fighters as backup, and Han agreed. Killer Bee urged everyone to find Naruto quickly, and Yujito admonished him for wandering off. Yagura warned that the Raikage would punish him for leaving. Yukon shouted for the fighting to begin, but Kankuro, Kiba, and Shino reacted with grim determination. Kankuro, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shino Aburame all vowed to defeat the two-headed threat. Meanwhile, Zaku Abumi and Kin Tsuchi arrived at the north gates and found the prison area mostly empty except for a single blue cell door. Kin unlocked prison cell number 4 and they were shocked by what they found. Inside sat a young shinobi of the Hidden Leaf, a 15-year-old brown-haired girl with sea-green eyes, wearing a chunin vest and the Senju crest. Kin freed the chains from her ankles and asked for her name. The girl identified herself as Megumi Senju. Zaku and Kin introduced themselves and welcomed her. Megumi explained that she had been held captive. Kin assumed she was a long-lost member of the Senju clan, and Megumi confirmed it. Zaku noted that she must be related to Tsunade, and Megumi asked how they knew of her aunt. Zaku replied that Tsunade was the 5th Hokage. Megumi said she would return to the Hidden Leaf, and Zaku and Kin explained their plan to rebuild the Hidden Sound Village after defeating the Sound Ninjas who had sided with Orochimaru. Kin added that they intended to make the Hidden Sound a peaceful village that would join the Allied Ninja Task Force once it was restored. Elsewhere, the Allied Ninja Task Force had managed to defeat Taiyuya, Sakan and Yukon, Jirobo, and Kidamu. Utakata reported that the area was clear, and Chojuro noted that Kisame was already dead. Killer Bee boasted that he had defeated Kisame in combat, claiming the victory loudly. The allied Jinchuriki reacted with exasperation and scolded him for his showmanship, while Ayana and Remina covered their faces in disbelief. Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi arrived soon after. Yagura asked Naruto how the mission to stop Orochimaru had gone. Niji explained that Naruto's mission had been successful. Ayumi had used her Chidori to strike Orochimaru, ending him. Ayumi confirmed that the threat had been neutralized. Kiba celebrated Ayumi as a heroine. Niji and Naruto affirmed that Orochimaru was indeed dead. Back at the Hidden Leaf, Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, congratulated the team and asked about Kabuto. Naruto replied that Fu Yamanaka and Toryun Aburame suspected Kabuto might still be alive. Shino asked why Toryun was involved, and Ino reacted negatively at the mention of her adoptive brother. Naruto explained that during the battle with Kabuto an earthquake had forced Heiate, Yugao, Fu, and Toryun to evacuate, and the whereabouts of Kabuto remained unknown. Tsunade warned that Kabuto could become their next threat. At that moment a door opened and Megumi entered. Tsunade and the others were stunned to see her. Megumi confirmed that she was Tsunade's niece, and Shizune reacted so strongly that she fainted. Megumi explained that she had been held captive by Orochimaru for 2 days and thanked Kintsuchi and Zakuabumi for rescuing her. Mio reacted with surprise at the names. Sasuke and Sakura showed visible displeasure at the thought of dealing with them. Hiruzen commented that Orochimaru had been cunning to hold a long-lost Senju captive and was relieved that Ayumi had ended the threat. Megumi added that Zaku and Kin had defeated the hidden sound forces loyal to Orochimaru. Niji and others expressed disbelief at the scale of their actions. Naruto realized that if Zaku and Kin had eliminated Orochimaru's subordinates, they might be reconsidered as possible allies. Shikamaru noted that if they rebuilt the hidden sound and made it peaceful, the village could join the allied ninja task force. Megumi confirmed that was their intention. Tsunade reiterated the need to stay alert for Kabuto as a potential new threat to the alliance, and Naruto agreed. On a rainy day, Pain and Black Zetsu met Kabuto, who was now a rogue ninja associated with the hidden sound. Pain asked what Kabuto wanted, and Black Zetsu said they had no business. Kabuto proposed discussing potential plans for a fourth Great Ninja War within the next 5 years. Pain explained that it would be impossible now because they had not secured the tailed beasts and planned to resurrect the 10 tails. Kabuto countered that they did not need to collect all the tailed beasts. He claimed to have created an altered version of the 9-tailed beasts and produced a scroll. Black Zetsu found the idea intriguing and suggested it could be useful not only for resurrecting the 10 tails but also for reviving his mother, Kaguya Otsutsuki. Pain cautioned that it was not the right time to pursue such a plan. Kabuto revealed that he had obtained DNA samples from the horns of the 8 tails that Orochimaru had kept for years in a secret lab on Blue Island. Pain found the information interesting, and Kabuto said they could discuss it further if he decided to join the Akatsuki. Elsewhere, Natsumi Otsutsuki, a 37-year-old veteran leaf shinobi, found herself pursued by Deidara and Sasori. They attempted to stop her, but Natsumi activated her Byakugan and countered with a precise gentle fist technique. Her strikes forced Deidara and Sasori to retreat, and she decided to return to the hidden leaf. Later, at the training grounds, Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi were heading to train when they bumped into Natsumi. Naruto apologized and noted that she looked familiar, while Natsumi prepared to explain her recent encounters. Mio, and Ayumi had grown up to become elite ninja of the leaf. Mio Otsutsuki cried out in astonishment at the return of their mother. Natsumi responded with a dry admonition about language. Ayumi reminded everyone that their mother had been away 7 months on regular missions. Naruto asked about their father and where he was. Natsumi explained that 38-year-old Naoto was at the council speaking with Lord Hiruzen, and that their parents had been away on a dangerous mission for months. She said the journey had been perilous and that their sensei, Era Otsutsuki, would serve as temporary clan head while she and Mio were on the mission. Natsumi added that she had been fortunate to escape from Sasori and Deidara of the Akatsuki. Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi reacted with a stunned, angry chorus about the Akatsuki. Natsumi told them to come with her to the Hokage office for a clan meeting. She said Obito Uchiha would be reconsidered as the current head of the Uchiha clan. Naruto noted that Obito had been a student of the 4th Hokage and that Kakashi had wanted him as a possible candidate for Hokage for many years. At the Hokage's office, the clan meeting began with representatives assembled: Obito Uchiha for the Uchiha clan, Shibi Aburame for the Aburame clan, Shikaku Nara for the Nara clan, Inoichi Yamanaka for the Yamanaka clan, Chusa Akimichi for the Akimichi clan, Hayashi Hyuga for the Hyuga clan, and Naoto Otsutsuki for the Otsutsuki clan, a distant descendant of Ashura, son of Hagoromo. Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, opened the meeting by saying they would discuss forming strong shinobi forces to protect the Hidden Leaf village from the Akatsuki, proposing what she called the Hidden Leaf Military Police Force. Obito responded that joining the force should not be limited to any single clan and that members from other clans should be able to join, noting that the Uchiha Leaf Police Force had caused many problems in the past years. Naoto said he had received complaints about issues involving the Uchiha Leaf Police Force that dated back 6 years, when Itachi had been ordered to eliminate much of the clan, leaving Kiyomi, Izumi, and Sasuke as the surviving representatives of the Uchiha in the village. Obito commented that Izumi had always been special to Itachi and Sasuke, and that Kiyomi had been a protective sister figure to Sasuke. He expressed doubt that Lord Hiruzen had believed those young survivors could become the elite shinobi that represented the Uchiha. Hayashi Hyuga agreed with Obito, even while noting Obito's connection as the son of Kagami Uchiha, a close friend of Lord Hiruzen. Obito added that his father had died young, at the age of 25. Natsumi, Naruto, Mio, and Ayumi exchanged awkward looks at the revelation of Obito's parentage. Naruto observed that Lord Hiruzen had not told them about Obito's biological father. Kakashi, Kurenai, Asuma, Guy, and Rin reacted with concern and curiosity. Asuma wondered what had driven Obito to his current actions. Kakashi noted that Obito still needed support if he hoped to become Hokage someday. Might Guy asked whether Kakashi trusted Obito, and Kakashi affirmed that he did. Kurenai said they should place their trust in Obito as the potential new clan head of the Uchiha. Tsunade assigned Obito Uchiha, Hayashi Hyuga, Shikaku Nara, Inoichi Yamanaka, Chuza Akimichi, and Naoto Otsutsuki as commanders of the Hidden Leaf Military Police Force. Obito accepted the appointment. Megumi and Kiba appeared unconcerned, with Megumi calling the force what the village needed and Kiba agreeing.